Welcome to 30 Days of Awakening. I'm Tim Welch. Today is day 23, and I would like to talk about the power of stepping out of your comfort zone, or jumping out, or diving out of your comfort zone, however you want to do it. And I want to talk about how that applies to awakening, and also how it applies to manifesting and creating an experience for yourself that you actually want to have. How does stepping out of your comfort zone play into that? Well, I'm going to talk about that. Okay, I'm going to first give an example. Okay, I'm a voice teacher, a vocal instructor, and many times when I'm working on jazz with singers, attempting to get them to really improvise, even before I've taught them how to improvise, just by being playful with their voices. Because my experience has been that when people are being playful, they make discoveries much faster. So, here's an example. In jazz, we have this thing called scatting. Scatting is when you take a nonsensical syllable and you substitute it in for a melody line as if the voice is imitating an instrument. Like that's scat, the idea. And you can hear Ella Fitzgerald. All sorts of people are amazing at scat. Kurt Elling is one of the guys I love now doing it. And it's a very complicated thing to learn to do because it takes a lot of jazz chordal knowledge. You could go get your degrees in learning the structure of how to scat as far as academically. However, we can make a lot of strides in the very beginning if we just listen to somebody doing it, and we just say, "Okay, you go." Try, give it a shot. And if the person is willing to just go for it and and just sort of let go and not care how it sounds, what usually will happen if they don't have any experience with it is they'll come up with some great ideas and they'll come up with some not so great ideas. But the great ideas would never have come if they weren't willing to make not so great ideas. The great ideas won't come if you're not willing to make mistakes, if you're not willing to be embarrassed, if you're not willing to sound bad. Okay? Because what happens is a student who is self-conscious, who I say, "Okay, let's do this. I'm going to scat. Well, I'm going to do one, and you do one." And I do that, and then I go, and they go, do 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 do. That was so bad. Do do do. Oh, so bad. Like that person is living inside of a perception of themselves that they're embarrassed or they're afraid they're gonna, whatever the internal story is that's keeping them from stepping out of that comfort zone. It's also limiting them from having the amazing scat that they never would have discovered if they didn't care what they were talking like. Or, they would have never found that at all because they would have stayed, they would have stayed safe, and the furthest experimentation they would get is, oh, I think I did it. But if they would have let go and stepped out of their comfort zone and said, oh, that was bad. Oh, that part was kind of cool. Maybe not la la la. Oh, okay. So if you listen back, you're going to find that had a cool little gem, a little nugget of awesomeness in it. Yeah, this part we're probably not going to use that. Probably going to use that with the la la la's. No. Oh, the doodly da. I like that doodly da. So inside of that playfulness, that willingness to make mistakes, you come up with cool ideas. In fact, your cool ideas are directly related to your willingness to have not cool ideas. That's been my experience teaching. So let's take that concept and push that out into our lives. What if life was like that? What if life was like, to have great ideas, you have to be willing to have not great ideas? What if there are rewards on stepping out of those boxes, those comfort zones? What comfort zones do you have right now that you're standing in, that you're allowing yourself to not step out of? What if you did step out of them? What if? What would happen? I'll tell you, the last video I did, I had my shirt off, doing a crazy breathing thing outside, and my hands all like, and I'm like, I don't know, and it was completely silly. I had judgment about, oh my God, am I going to release this? I'm a voice teacher. What if students see it and they think I look crazy? Oh my gosh, what if maybe I'd lose business, maybe, you know what? I'm leaving it up there because of that. Because I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. And so what if I'm a voice teacher who's talking about mindfulness, really, online? So what if I took my shirt off online, right? It's not really harmful. It's just my perception of what others might think of me. Which I'll tell you, this awakening stuff, it surely starts messing with that. It really does. And let me read something real quick before I go. A lovely friend of mine sent me something that ties right into this as a message. Let's see if I can open it up here for you. Here's the message. We want you to stop caring about what anyone else's response is to you. And when you get there, they'll all really, really like you. It's the strangest thing. When you need their approval, you never get it. And when you don't need their approval, you're so tuned in, everybody wants to be with you. I think that's a pretty awesome message, and that's the one I'm going to leave you all with today. Have a beautiful day. Figure out what your comfort zones are. Step out. Make a loud noise in an elevator. Run down the hall if you don't want to get in trouble. Put on roller skates somewhere weird. Ride something that's usually only kids ride, but now you're going to do it to town and back. Do something out of the comfort zone. Because if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to have your world of experiences be more open and less guarded and insecure, you're willing to do some experimenting and take some risks and do some things that are really going to change your life. There you go. Have a great day.